Welcome to the Baltic Coast Islands series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. In the last part, the focus was very much on putting in the various services required by the populations of this town and Kalas that's a bit further along the coast. And one thing I did realise that I had not put in is advanced education. And I had considered maybe building it, but I think in truth, I think it'd be more advantageous to actually put it in. And what we're going to do is use this here. Now, I did find this building here, but it's a little bit big for these towns, and they're very expensive. It's 78,000 each. So what I'm going to be doing is going back to my old standby. I mean, it's 58,000, but I'll be able to get 2 universities in quite easily. So what I'm going to do is just drop you in here. And of course, the building looks a little bit out of context because it's quite a modern looking building, and hopefully this will cover most of the town. Yeah, we've got a couple of buildings at the top left there which are not going to be included, but to be honest, I'm not that worried about covering the whole town at the moment, because as we gravel in the roads and footpaths, that will happen. One thing I do want to show you, if I show you the schools, you'll see the schools are really busy at the moment because we've got a lot of adults trying to get full education, but hopefully that will solve its problems as we go forward. Now, the really big feature I want to do in this part is heating, but I think I'm going to put the other university in first. Where's the town? There it is, up there. And probably the best place to put the university will be here next to the bus station on this corner. So we're going to put another one in just here. I know some of you think, well, it's been a bit extravagant, but I'm actually quite enjoying being able to build everything rather than having to work out where to place things and then work out how to get the construction site going. I mean, but we will be building a lot more going forward if you're worried about it. Now, the coverage here is even worse, but I don't really want to put a second university in, and I certainly don't want to gravel up the footpaths, but I think that's enough of a cover to give people university education. So the next thing is the heating, and what I want to do is put the heating plant over on this bulge here, because we've got lots of forest which we could then fill in these fields, and we got this road coming down to here. And what I'm half thinking about for this area is a combination of a heating plant and a sawmill, so we can produce boards, and then what we can do then is ship the boards all the way to a production area. Right, let's just see if I can put this together. Now, it's probably worth noting that up until this point, everything I've been doing has been rehearsed to a certain degree with experimentation. We are now starting to move into an area where I haven't really prepared that much. We could end up doing a few kind of ums and ahs and bits and pieces. Kind of thinking if I can put that, say, I want to be far enough away that we don't have a pollution issue, but maybe a little bit of, no, I think we're here. So we got the heating plant in, and of course this is a log fired heating plant, so well, it better be. What I want to do now is, I can't remember which way around these log cutters go. What I would like to do is kind of have them split off in 2 different directions. What I want is 2 logging centres here, and of course so they've got the overlapping fields, so they're not that efficient if you got too much of an overlap. It just means you cut down the same area twice as quickly. But what I do want to do first is we're going to put in an open store. I want to try and stretch this as far as I can. Like, actually, yeah, I think if I can stretch this a little bit, like that's about the full range, isn't it? I mean, I might be able to stretch it if I did it manually, but I think that will do. And then we're going to come in here. What I'd like to have is a woodcutter, maybe say about there. This is where it's going to get messy, isn't it? Can't really. I would like the 2 woodcutters If I put a bus station between these two, we won't get to that guy, will we? I'm just wondering if I demolish you, if we put in the storage the opposite way round. Oops, not a big one, on a little one. So we put it that way and then stretch it out that far. Then we can hook off you. Auto purchase on. I don't mind, but well, we're stuck with this now, aren't we? Because it started to build, and I don't want to make a mistake. I think I'm happy with that. We're just going to try and get the wood cutting posts. So if we can get, say, you kind of out there a little bit like that. And we can get this one. Yeah, we're still gonna get quite an overlap, aren't we? I don't think there's much I can do to avoid this. And if I can put in bus stops, say, if we put a bus stop in, would they walk that far? They would if I put in a gravel road, but maybe I can cheat a little bit and put a gravel road in. Now I think I'd rather have this here because this is the heating plant, so we need to make sure that we get workers into there. We'll put that in there. We'll stick with the gravel roads. I think we come here and you can come, push you down to there. Actually, what I could do is put you in there. I've just had a thought. We got a bus stop there. What I would like to do now is, I mean, I don't know how much pollution do you get from a sawmill? Open space pollution at 1.2 tons per year. So it's a little bit icky, isn't it? If I say we're gonna need another open store, aren't we? Say I put the sawmill up there. If I put the road like that, if I put an open store, say, there. Yeah, if we put an open store there, and then come back to here, we put a sawmill. It's all the wrong way round, but put a sawmill, say, like that. Actually, we could put the sawmill there, and then rather than bring that road down to here, put this road out like that. You can come there and you've actually got, you gotta be kidding. No, we've got a bus stop over there, haven't we? Yeah, I think we could provide dual labor. No crossing allowed. Why are you not telling me? Why are you telling me that there's no crossing allowed? Right, we're gonna have to get rid of you. Maybe we'll get rid of you. We'll just move you to there. Demolish that house there. And we'll bring. I mean, we got a lot of workforce. We're just gonna have to wait for that. What's that? Pause. Why is that saying no crossing allowed? Oh, because it's trying to come in on that footpath there. What we've got is a warehouse there, a bus station there, and I think, well, that's too far to walk, but what I would like to do is, oh, we've got power lines here. Can I get a bus station in here? Or bus stop? If we put a bus stop here, that's right next to the power connection. So the idea is that we'll have a bus stop here, which will bring workers up to work in the heating plant. We'll use this bus stop over here, bring workers up to here. And what we'll do then is we'll use a truck to bring, so we're going to need a distribution office to bring overflows of logs from this area into here, which we will then turn into boards, which will be put back into here, and then we could export the boards. And that will give the workers in this area, because there's probably quite a few people here without a job. We're going to need a distribution office. What we want in the way of a distribution office? I don't really want a big distribution office because we're only going to be oh yeah, but we might be sending boards all the way down here, aren't we? But I think we could do that with 2 distribution offices. One to move the logs backwards and forwards here, and another one here. Actually, what's there? We'll be okay with the fire cover. But what we're going to do is we're going to use small distribution offices, partly to save money. Let's put this back on so I can actually see. Wow, 6,000, 4,000. How big is how much does the full size ones cost? That's 23,000. Okay, maybe the small ones are a bit more cost effective than I thought they were going to be. To start with, if I put a small distribution office in, oh, we're going to need to bring power up here as well, aren't we? But say I put the small distribution office here, your job will be to bring them from there to there. Put a small little distribution office there. We won't worry too much about sending the boards that way for the moment. I just want to get this area up and working. Of course, we're going to need to think about power, because you're too far away. We're going to have to put some power into this area as well. I think maybe we'll just power this up over here like this. And of course, we're going to have to take off. Probably don't need the full. I think we'll go with these just in case. I'm going to work on the assumption that these will be adjusted over time. So we've got power connections into there, and we got the bus there, and of course we're going to need a vehicle depot out here as well. But I don't really want to put it close to the town. Could I squeeze a vehicle depot in, say, on the edge of the farm here? So we're going to put a vehicle depot in as well. We're going to need to be able to purchase vehicles. I was about to say this would allow me to modify terrain for free, but we don't really need that. Of course, the next thing we're going to need to do is put in a heat exchanger, or possibly 2 heat exchangers in to heat the town. So effectively we can have one this side. Actually, we could probably do with one out here. This would probably the easiest way, but that's going to be a long pipeline, isn't it? Can I heat it from, say, over here? So say we put in one up here, maybe here, so about there. That would heat that side of the town. Make sure we got the. That's that way round, isn't it? This is the one with the where the heat pipe comes out the side. So what we're going to have to do is put this next to the substation. That will heat most of that side of the town. And then kind of my instinct is to put something about there, but we'd have to bring a road out to light. Where's the road connection? Any downside with. So what we'd have to do is bring out a road out of here, a mud road out of here, and probably curve it around like that a little bit. The heat exchangers there. I think what we'll do is we'll just run the road up a little bit behind the store like that, and then I know you're being helpful, game, but I don't really need the help for that. I want to be able to see this for positioning. It'd be really great if you could turn this off. But what we got now is there. What we're probably going to have to do is run pipes through there to there. I mean, it'd be nice to take the pipeline through here and like out, so because along this area here. So it'd be, when it's going to be a little bit extravagant, but it'd be nice to say take the pipe out like, and then kind of curve it round like that. No point bringing it down, going through here, and then you just connect that up like that. It's going to cost an arm and a leg, isn't it? And then this one, what we're aiming for is roughly about there, isn't it? Run straight into the substation. Okay, let's hook that there. What we're going to have to do is go behind the substation. Of course, it won't let me do that either. Be the best way to do it. Probably go across this intersection here. So if we trim that back a little bit, pick you up there, bring you into here, give you a little bit of height there. And then we can drop you down a little bit there. It's too low. I'm really starting to understand the challenge of doing populated maps by doing this exercise. And in some ways, I'm going to be completely honest, in some ways, doing what I normally do, starting from scratch, is actually easier than doing a populated map. What we're going to do is just let this run and let everything build up. Fund that. Fund that. Of course, we're going to have to fund in the connections. And we'll fund this. And this. Thank you, game. And that. So we've now got our little area running here. And I think while we're here, I'm just going to pause. And what I would like to do, actually, we need to fund that as well. One thing I did forget to do here is put in a bus stop, didn't I? Okay, let's see, just take the road out here. About there. And we'll just put in another little bus stop here. Coming down here, it's got connections to power. Not the bus stops actually need power, but just build you. Because what we're going to need also in here is some trucks. So we're going to buy our first, buy some vehicles. I don't think there's a lot of difference in here. Capacity 20. Top speed is relative. I think we'll go for the cheaper ones. We'll get 3 in there. We'll just let that build. Now, what I would like is a full-size bus running up to here. From here. Oh, we need to build this as well. And can we get any footpath connections in here? I'd like to get... We'll go mud road. That can go to there. And ideally, I would like to have something running across the back here. And then we can connect up the back paths to here. That one, oh, that's just made it. Actually, we'll run path down to there as well. what type of coverage you've got. Not brilliant, but not bad actually. What's the coverage over here? That's fairly good as well. We've got lots of workers standing around there. I don't think this has actually got... No, see, the only passenger there... I wish there was a mod that allowed you to put footpaths across factory connections. In some ways, I've got this a little bit back to front because this is the less important one. This is the one with the more workers. I'm just going to do a little bit of jiggery pokery here. I'm going to put another... I'll click under that pipeline. I've built it. What I'm going to do is come around to there. You can come through. There's no real pathway through the town, is there? I think it will work. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a... When we get by a... What do I want in bus-wise? I think I'd like to have, say, a minibus and a full-size bus with a fair amount of passengers on it. Say 40 to start with. You are going to pick up from there and go to there. And you're going to load... And at the moment, I don't want you to load educated workforce. And you're actually going to drop cancel. And then you're going to unload here. And then this one is going to pick up from here. And you're going to pick up kind of, but I don't want educated workers because we don't have enough at the moment. And you're going to unload there. Of course, one thing we don't have here is a gas station. So many things to do, so many things to do. Well, we got a gas station over there, but that's a long way away. I think what we're going to have to do is put a gas station in here. Kind of the old saying of how long's a piece of string, isn't it? So if we put a gas station in here, I think that would be reasonably positioned to service the bus from here. This one, if they've got to come across, is acceptable. Actually, I just had a thought. If I buy another little minibus, we put a stop there, here, and we'll take off all the workers here, and take off you there, and take off all the workers there, workers there. What we'll have then is a little bit of a minibus that will run backwards and forwards across the town. So if anybody over here desperately needs an advanced education, they can catch the bus. And we got here, this is on auto purchase at the moment. We'll just have to leave it on that for... So we've now got this working, and hopefully we will get this line but in here. But you can see we're down to only got $450,000 left now. I mean, I've spent over $1.5 million already just setting up the basics, and I haven't bought trains or anything yet. This is expensive, but I think we're okay. In fact, I think we're now in a bit of a position where I can possibly start allowing people to start moving around a little bit and letting the game tick forward slowly. I mean, because I'm building, I don't have to worry too much about getting everything done by the winter. Because so we can just let the game tick forward. Now we're going to have to heat this place as well, and I'm going to do this in reverse order, because what I'd like to do is come here. We're going to put out on a small heat exchanger. Zoom in. My instinct is to have, I mean, that if I put it there, that effectively heats the main part of the town, doesn't it, in one with one exchanger. So if I put that there, we got power over here. So what I could do is we're going to need the mod again for the heating plant, small wood plant here. If I put this here really close to the edge of this field, maybe tilt it in a little bit. What's that heating? It's just giving a little bit of heat to the edge of the, so if we say we put this here, and again I think what I would like is a small open store, but we're not going to attach any processing. In fact, what I'll do is I'm going to put this like oops, that's got built. Actually, if I put this here like that, stretch it out a little bit, we're still in range of power. Now if I can get the wood cutting post, yes, look at that. Oh, that's ideal. We can get the wood cutting post just on there, just out of curiosity. We could put another one there should we need it. Of course, what we're going to have to do is just put a small bus stop in here. Maybe if we put a bus stop just a little bit, maybe bring it out, say, to about here. And then we can kind of connect up with that to there. Actually, you can come to there. Any footpath connections? We could put a little footpath in like that. What that will mean is we'll have this here. We'll just go for the cheap trucks again. We'll just build that out. And I need to put a bus stop in over here now. I'd like to put one in here, possibly. If I say I take that road out and we put a bus platform in here, yeah, I mean that might work. So if I say I take out that and that and that, and then we put in, say, something like that here behind the university, like that, and then say this road can come down there, you can come to there, you can build up to there, and we're just sneaking a couple of footpaths like that. And actually, oops, I just nearly saw it. It'd be great if we could bring in, say, a footpath in over here. That's not going to do it, is it? Well, we could bring a footpath in over there and then put one in there like that. Of course, again, we're going to need a vehicle depot. A little bit of a slot here. So I wonder if this is big enough for a vehicle depot. You can fit in. Yes, look at that. That's brilliant. That means this will be powered from here. It's a long way away from the town. It will have a purpose. And again, we're going to go with the smaller bus. 40 passengers, I think, will do. What we're going to do is pick up from there, drop off there. Of course, you're going to pick up. Well, we're not going to pick up educated workers at the moment. You're going to unload. Well, strictly speaking, we've got a little gas station here, but I think I would rather have a gas station in here. Well, I bet you that power line is going to be too close. Let me put a gas station in here. You can almost guarantee it, can't you? I mean, to be honest, if I can't get it in, I'm going to knock these power lines down. Right, sorry. This is another one of the perks of working on populated maps when you've got a bit of a starter cache. You can afford to... Oops, I don't want that. I think if we get a gas station just in here like that, and then what was these cables? I think these were the, I can't remember what they were now. I think it was these ones, wasn't it? You'll soon tell me because it, yeah, two different types. Oh, it's this one. We can run along the back of the gas station to here, and that will give us that would give us the fuel for our fire trucks. That will also lift off this area here. Wow. we need plenty of jobs, but then again, I want this city to grow, because once we get our construction industry out here, a lot of those jobs are going to start coming together. Of course, one thing I haven't done is put in the heating pipe. This is where I find out I've messed it up completely with the angle. And we've got to redo it all again. I can get this really tight. I mean, I'm completely honest, if we've got to knock this field down in the future, that's not going to be a major issue. I'm actually pause the game because I'm actually building. Just drop this down. Actually, no, I'm going to keep this high because we got the rail tracks there. So, in fact, I think I'm tempted to go even a bit higher, because I want to be able to run the rail tracks underneath this. So we'll just, yeah, such as have a quick check, make sure the rail tracks will run under here, as my grand plans will get messed up. Pause. Actually, just take that off. We'll just plan you through there, and we'll just put you there, but I don't want you built, so construction has stopped yet. So if I switch that on, it won't auto build. Good. So we've now got heating in. I want to make sure we've got heating all the way over there, so that's our primary heating source. Eventually we will probably take off heating pipes, and as the town spreads, I just want to go over and see whether have we got anyone working up here yet. No resources, no wood. Well, we got one person working here and there, and of course we have the sawmill here. We got this little construction office there, and what we must have set these guys up as well. What's the full capacity of this? You're only ever, let me just see. You're only ever gonna store logs. One, I can't, wood, there we are. I prefer to have this allocated. You can come off with, we're never going to store steel in here, or aluminium, or prefabs, or bricks. So we're just going to reduce this down to 2. In fact, I'm going to take the boards out as well. Not the boards. That gives me 330 tons of things. So I drop that down to 264. Maybe we'll drop it down to 200. So 231. And if I set this to, and we need a couple of little trucks. We need some open holes to carry the logs. I don't think we really need a big, oh, they're all roughly the same price. I mean, we could run with this guy, but he's going to do a lot of trips with 1 ton at a time, isn't he? My instinct is just to start with one of these open holes. Yeah, I think we'll start with just one at the moment. And I'm going to have to name some of these as well. Okay, let's just have a name this. Palace heating logs. And you're going to pick up from there if the what's in there is more than 10%, and you're going to drop off logs at, and we'll call you, where are you? And again, we're going to set a limit to this. I think at the moment I'll just leave this set the way it is, and what we'll do is we'll call you Alice store mill. So the idea is that if you've got any workers on, yeah, you've got some workers. Let's see where they go. Speed up a little bit. I think we can. You need some trucks as well. You probably don't need that number of workers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to seed plenty piles and piles of pines around here. Start to fill that field in as well. Give these guys plenty of trees to pick up in this area. We're going to have 2 lumber mills going. Maybe we'll have 20 in that one, and we'll reduce you down to 15. Although technically, actually, what am I doing? I mean, we got to keep everybody employed, and it's not like they're going to have a lot of industry around here to start with, so we might as well take advantage of it. And once we got logs in here, I want to make sure. What's a potential capacity issue? Too many connections, but I mean, we've only got small, relatively small towns, so we'll get this to power up and see how it goes. I mean, true, it's running at 171%, but they are overlapping. They should be overlapping anyway. Yeah. I mean, there's a massive overlapper here at the moment, so we should be okay. We've got the potential for boards coming in as and when our trucks are picking up. Well, these guys are going to strip the whole area, but who cares? We've got some workers in here. And of course, once we get 10% in here, we will start sending stuff to here and creating boards. That's good. We got our first little industry going. And what have we got over here? Missing wood. That's understandable. Yeah, outcrop thing. And of course, what we're going to need to do is seed some more trees around here. And we're just, because we don't really have a lot of trees in this area, we're going to have to encourage them to grow. So we're just going to fill all this in, maybe just go down to here. Lots and lots of trees. Now I think hopefully the trees will grow up before winter. But I think we also get a grace period with some of these buildings, because I haven't checked, but I get the impression that these buildings will provide their own heating if they don't actually have any heating. I just didn't want to take the risk, and plus I wanted to get things kind of set up the way they should be. I think we'll just leave you running the way you are at the moment with that. And of course, they had to go out and get some fuel, didn't they? Before they started going out and picking the logs up. Because it goes without saying, doesn't it? I think this one we are going to reduce the workforce down, because I'm going to need the workers for other purposes. So the logs are starting to arrive. We are starting to get a bit of heating in. This one will probably say that there's too many connections, 116%. But I think that's good enough to get started with. I don't really want to lay out any more pipelines around here. Plus, I'm not sure exactly what direction I want to expand going forward. And so we got our industry going here. We got our fields being laid. And I think just to finish this video off, and I'm aware that I'm blowing a lot of money. So what I would like to do is harvesting, what's this, dollars. Dollars, this is it. What I'm going to do is spend some dollars on the combines, because I'm aware that I've nearly blown all my dollars. So I might as well use it for something that will give me a really long-term benefit. So we can come in here, do there. We're not going to buy any covered holes just yet. Actually, I'll buy a couple of big covered holes. I could buy the little ones, but I can't really see the point at the moment. So what we can get here. You can carry 10 tons. You can carry 10 tons. We'll just get a couple of these in the but it says, it said factory, but it's actually a farm. So, and we'll get a couple of these as well. Of course, what we will do is put some stuff into the distribution office here as well. Not the vehicle office, the distribution office here. Of course, at the moment, they've got nowhere to take anything because I haven't worked on my food production area here, which is probably going to be the subject of the next video. In fact, I think, well, I've turned off auto build, but when we build from now on, we're going to have to build with rubles as opposed to dollars. But I'm quite happy with the progress we've got made. We got our first gas stations, which we're going to have to get fuel in for. And wow, we got lots of workers here really enthusiastically wanting to get things done. And let's have a look at see what and overall our population are happy. Let's just see if so it looks like the population is actually increasing a little bit, although we haven't had any bursts. We have some deaths and escapes, but this can be misleading because what we've got out here is we've got people out here. If we show, I come into here. Actually, can we higher education? Yeah, see citizens with free time. So we got a little bit of probably. It'd be really good if you had a button here that just said show all citizens. So we got citizens here. Now, this is one of the reasons why I'm keeping the game paused. So you can see we got a reasonable density of citizens here. We come up to here. You can see we got again lots of citizens. We've got 50 in church at the moment. I mean, I suppose we can see workers, but I'm not sure if I don't think it actually shows the workers are in the factories. And of course, up here, if we go back to citizens with 3 time, we've got a whole load of citizens here, which we're going to have to move out. And we've got various other small little villages scattered around the map, which we're going to need to start to gather together. Otherwise, they're going to leave. That's probably the cue for starting to plan my new city down here, because we need to get some population here in order to provide fire protection for this area here. And also, this will be my primary construction site. But of course, what I'm going to need up in here is some form of construction that will, well, to begin with, will allow me to start to gravel or asphalt these roads up. But ideally, what I would like to do, because we're going to need to build additional buildings here, because eventually this population is going to grow past the available capacity here. So we're going to have to start putting new buildings. So I'm going to need a construction site here. And then down in here, what we will have is the normal bootstrap type construction, which I would use on the start of one of my normal series. But I think this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.